as we get into this debate, Lord, may you take us through, bless us indeed, Lord Father. May you come and cover us with your blood. Whatever you're speaking, your vital importance, Lord. May you protect us and guide us also. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Martin, for giving us an opening prayer. Okay, from here we are going to have introductions. First of all, me, the person speaking. Hopefully you can see my video. I'm Kakul Bernard from Yaka Digital Network. Okay, I will be doing production, modulating, and the rest in the meeting. Let me invite other team members to introduce themselves as we get started. Jonah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I'm unable to put on my video, but my name is Jonah Luthavi Algava. I am a teacher at Yaka, and I'm going to be the chairperson of today's debate. I would like to ask you, if you're not presenting, to turn off your video so that we can have a smaller bandwidth. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm inviting Patricia. Okay, I'm inviting Patricia. Patricia, you near? Patricia, you near? Okay. Let me invite Pasco. Let me invite Pasco. Pasco will be our educator. Pasco will be our educator.
Yes, good morning to you all. Yes. My name is Pasco Dominic from Yaka Network. I welcome you all to this debate. Kakul, can you hear me?
You are loud and clear.
Oh, yeah, so I'll be your educator and I'll be responsible for awarding you marks and giving you part of the feedback. So I wish you all good luck. Thanks.
Okay, let's also invite John. He's one of our educators.
Thank you, Ben. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Natchez. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Natchez. And I'll be working with Pasco as an adjudicator. Wish you the best. And I'll be working with.
Okay, Patricia, welcome back. Okay, Patricia, welcome back.
Good morning to you all. Here, my name is Patricia Sinje, and I'm working with the team as they have introduced themselves. I wish you all the best and feel free to participate freely. Thank you.
Okay. I welcome Oswald. Oswald is our chairperson for this meeting. We can hear word from you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gudmia Oswald. I work with the Acadian and I'm the vice chairperson. I wish
Okay. At this point, I'm going to invite
we don't have the power, but we never say never.
I will invite Jonah to select a timekeeper from the audience, and then he will introduce the other main speakers as they surface on our screen.
All right. Thank you so much, Bernard. I'd like to just give you a few things that we are going to follow religiously for this debate to be smooth. One, we are going to ask you to only unmute once you are given a chance to unmute. Please do not unmute if you're not going to speak and without permission of the chairperson. Number two, not put on your video unless you are presenting, unless you're speaking. Why? Because if we all put on our videos, it becomes difficult to connect to the space. And the other issue is we need to be respectful of each other so that we can have a very good debate. Today, we are here for this inaugural debate, online debate. It's not the first and it's not going to be the last. So we ask you to be cooperative so that we can have many other debates to come. For those that are joining us for right now, the debate is on, and the motion is, should students or children be allowed to carry gadgets, digital gadgets to school? So we are all going to debate in that line. The things we are going to focus on, the adjudicators have been already shared with you in our WhatsApp group, but I don't mind to belabor a few of them. We have teams of 4, of which we shall have a team captain whose contributions are well stipulated there. We have introduction of team's argument and definition of the motion. It will be marked out of 5. We have organization and clarity, marked out of 5. Use of facts, marked out of 5. Relevance of arguments, marked out of 5. Persuasiveness will also be marked out of 5. Then for other speakers, the same are maintained. We only drop the first one, which is introduction of the team's argument and definition of the motion, and replace it with use of rebuttal. The rebuttal is the use of constructive disagreement ideas that disagree with the earlier submission of an opponent. So if you can be able to water down the arguments of the opposition, you will be able to get some marks there, and it will also be marked out of 5. So that's what we are going to follow. We are going to have 4 main speakers from either side, and then we shall open the debate to the floor speakers. The following are our main speakers. On the opposer side, their team captain is Tivite Sisi. Please appreciate Tivite. We shall also have Edward Mugonyi as the second speaker from the opposers. From that, we shall have David Sanya as the third speaker from the opposers. Then we shall have Martin Watman Orala as the 4th speaker from the opposition side. Thank you so much for showing interest, and I will wish you good luck. That's the team in the blue corner. The team in the red corner, which are the proposers, we shall have Isa Rashid and as a team captain, and remember proposers are going to go first. So Isa Rashid, you are their team captain from St. Lucia High School in Fort Portal. Jasi Ainembavazi from Kashaka Secondary School in Barara, you will be the second speaker. We have Asimire Isabella Nyangoma as from Immaculate Hearts Girls Kunjiri, you will be the third speaker. Munyole Shaban from Namungona Parents Senior Secondary School, you'll be the fourth speaker. If you want to be part of the debate from the floor, you should send your name directly as a direct message to me and indicate where you want to debate from. So those are going to be tussling it out here. So you can cheer them using the emojis in your inbox, and you can show support. You can also discuss, you can also try to type your arguments in case you're not been given any chance. All main speakers are going to be given a maximum of 5 minutes. You can use all of them, or you can use some of them and you leave the other ones. So then the floor speakers are going to be given 3 minutes. This debate should not exceed 1 hour and 30 minutes. That means that once we start, we shall have a break after all the main speakers. I would love to, yes, I would love to, Bernard, are you okay? All right. So I would love to get us started by inviting Isa Rashid. Once you are invited, please turn on your video and tell us what you think about this motion. Isa, you are welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The resolution of today states, should students be allowed to take digital gadgets to school? I strongly support the resolution. So allow me first highlight the key terms in this debate. 1, student. So who is a student? According to the Oxford Learners Dictionary, a student is a person who is studying at a certain level of institution. School, an institution for educating children. Digital gadgets, according to dimensions.com, these are electronic tools that humans use to perform certain tasks. Examples of digital gadgets. 1, we have laptops, we have phones, we have tablets. Perimeters, we are mainly based in secondary schools. Boundary, Uganda. So these are the following are the views as to why we as the proposers are strongly supporting the motion. 1, we see that gadgets will help students research, illustrate, take notes, and network at gazetted times. Our second view, communication for communication purposes. Third view, these gadgets, some scholastic materials will be catered for example, calculators, books, etc. Our fourth point, students will acquire more skills for using these gadgets. And lastly, information rich that students will keep up to date. So let me first talk about the first view, which is research. We see that with this new curriculum coming on board, students will be required to make research on their own. Now, we have scenarios that in most schools, when you compare the number of gadgets in the computer labs to the number of schools, to the number of students, these gadgets, the computers, they are never enough. So you find that in this, for example, you find the class has about 500 students, okay? So many of these 500 students will only compete for the 2010 computers in the laboratory, and this will be very inconveniencing, especially when it comes to doing research. But in a scenario whereby each of these students has his or her own phone or tablet or laptop, life would be made easier. Then another thing I would gather is that these computer labs, they are never open 24/7. They are open, for example, from 9 to 5, depending on how the school program runs. So meaning that these students would only need to, like, they will be fixed to that time period only. But if a student has his or her own gadget, he can even do research at any time, at night, in the morning. Okay. Then I also mentioned that I only talked about one class competing for 10, 20 computers in the school laboratory. But how about when you compare a school that has a population of 500, 1,000 students? We find that all these 1,000 students, they have to use the computer lab, which is very inconveniencing. Then our dear judges, we also have articles and evidence supporting our argument. We see that in an article in the Daily Monitor of February 2021, Dr. Yusuf Nsubuga, Director of Basic and Secondary Education at the Ministry of Education, stated that schools should allow students to use ICT gadgets in order to improve learning and teaching. Now, this even argued that the respective school board of governors should allow this use of gadgets in their respective schools. Our dear judges, now this is a person from the Ministry of Education supporting the motion. So I wonder, these are opposers, what are they basing on to oppose the motion? Do they have, then another question I would like to pose to them, do they have any ministry, any ministry in Uganda, any cabinet supporting their argument? Because for us, we see that this is a personnel from the ministry and is also supporting the resolution that they should be allowed in schools. Furthermore,
Thank you, Isa, for the wonderful submission. You have strong points. But Sisi is here. She has her own submission. Let's welcome Sisi, and she tells us why she thinks we should not allow children to have gadgets. Sisi, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. This is Sisi Tivata, an opposer from New Horizon Secondary Vocational School, Mukono. Our resolution today states that should students be allowed to take digital gadgets to school? Should students be allowed to take digital gadgets to school? The key terms in our resolution, as the first proposer has stated, one is we're looking at students. These are children, or these are people that are studying. Then we look at digital gadgets. Digital gadgets, according to our research, we saw that we found out that digital gadgets, they are indigenous or clever electronic tools that humans use to perform certain tasks or make life easier or more efficient. That is according to the Oxford Learners Dictionary. Then if we look at the term allowed, it is to permit, to give permission or to permit people to do something. And then if you look at school, it is an institution of learning or where learning takes place. I'll first of all begin with the arguments that the proposers have stated. One, the proposer has been speaking, he talked of, actually mentioned some of the digital gadgets. I had three of them. He talked of laptops, he talked of tablets, and then he talked of phones. But we as the opposers, we have a list of these items. One of the items that we have phones, we have smartwatches, we have smart wristbands, we've got PlayStations, we have laptops, we have quite a number of them. We have cameras, amongst others. So if you're going to base on these digital gadgets to be taken by students to schools as personal property, the way they have their books, the way they have their gel cans, the way they have their school uniforms, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a very big problem. One, Albert Einstein once said, it has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. And then another speaker said, absolute communication equals to absolute isolation. Now, the reason that we were strongly opposing the students taking digital gadgets to schools, because we have our various reasons as to why we are doing that. But then first of all, the proposal that has been speaking, he talked of using electronic gadgets for research and taking notes. I mean, since time immemorial, students have been doing research. They have been taking notes in school. What have they been using? Have they been using these digital gadgets? Then has been learning not been taking place in these schools? Why then take these digital gadgets to school? We have libraries. Students can make research in those libraries. Why can't we stock them to full capacity so that these learners can use them? Then he talked about communication. What is the meaning of communication? Whom are they going to communicate with? Are they going to be communicating with their parents? Because if these children are day scholars, they will go back home and talk to their parents. If they're in school, they're going to be talking to their fellow students, to the colleagues, or they're going to be talking with the teachers directly. What is the use of these gadgets for communication? Then it talked of using information rich. I mean, we have a variety of things where we can get information from. But then we, as the opposers, we don't strongly oppose that these digital gadgets are a problem. That is not our case. We are not opposing the digital gadgets. But then our idea is, why should students take them to school? We have an alternative. Instead of these children taking personal digital gadgets to school as their own, like someone is taking it as a personal property, why don't schools provide some of these items as school properties? For example, computers. Instead of a child taking a phone to school, why don't schools provide computers that can be enough for these learners? Because phones are expensive. They're quite expensive. I mean, if a parent can manage to buy a smartphone for that case for their child, why can't they pay some money to school so that the school can be in position to provide computers that are enough for every one of these learners? That is one of our ideas. So we do not oppose that digital gadgets are solely bad. No, they are not. But then why should they take them to school? Because if you look at a recent article.
Timer. Thank you so much, Sisi. Wonderful submission, wonderful argument. That was so beautiful. You have strong points, and I'm open to see, because we have other speakers that are coming after you, and they don't seem to agree with what you're speaking about. And these ones, the good news is you can ask them questions even when the discussion is ongoing. You simply put up your hand and we pick you. If you are an opposer, you have a point of information, they will take it. I will forward it to them and they will take it. 3 times, it will be compulsory. For that matter, let me invite Jesse Ainembabazi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The resolution of today's debate states that should students be allowed to own digital gadgets while at school? I strongly agree with the motion of the debate, 100% correct. Our dear judges, allow me to first rebuke the first speaker from the opposition side, where she said that schools should provide computers. All parents should buy computers to the students. I would like to inform her that these schools, they will buy computers, yes, but they can't afford all the computers to provide the students, because sometimes the schools are very small, they have small rooms, so they can't afford to buy the computers for the whole school. But when the students, they have their own gadgets like phones, laptops, at least every student can afford to have his or her own, but not the school providing the students, because the school sometimes is having a small room for the computers. Let me.
Jesse, you have a point of information from Sisi. Do you take it?
Allowed.
Sisi, you are allowed.
Okay, Justice, thank you so much. I did not say that parents should buy computers. I said, if these parents are in position to buy these gadgets to their children because they're not cheap, why can't they contribute some money to the schools that the schools can provide the computers the children are going to use? I mean, you said that these students can ideally, everyone can come with their gadgets and they use them. Do you know that we do not have money in Uganda? We have a percentage of less than 49% of people we have less than 49% of the entire population that the people are using these gadgets. So if you're saying every student is going to come with them, where are they going to get the money to buy them? If at least a parent can contribute a little money to the school to buy computers.
Allow Jesse to respond.
Thank you, Sisi. The thing is like this. If the parent can afford to pay the school fees, buy books, buy pens, then can be able to buy a phone, a laptop for the student. Thank you. My first view, gadgets are used for visual learning. Yes, this is conducted online inside the visual classroom. Mechanics such as video conferences, online whiteboards, and chat boxes are used by students and teachers. It can also be used for learning and flexibility and maximizing the benefits of technology in education. Our first speaker said that gadgets are used in communication. Yes. This communication is about the when that student is owning his or her own gadget, can be able to communicate easily. My third point, gadgets are used, our third view, gadgets are used to verify information. Yes, students can verify information themselves through the internet. This increases communication, collaboration, and cooperation to solve problems among students and teachers. This is why you find when students have their problems, but they cannot be able to reach the teachers because sometimes they are fearing them. But when they have their gadgets, they will just send the information easily and they tell the problem they are facing and they tell the teachers. Thank you.
Members, you have a hand from Martin. Do you take it?
Allowed.
In 1 minute.
Okay, thank you, please. Thank you, please, Enemawas. So I'm inquiring about you as the proposals that you're speaking of a point of communication. How is this point of communication really so relevant to the society? Actually, you're speaking of school. You're in school to study. Who are you communicating with? And of what purposes is there communication? You get it? But now, if you're speaking of communication, why are you communicating and what are you trying to imply by that point of view? As we, the opposers, we rebut that and say that that's not a point. Thank you.
Jesse, you have 1 minute, on strictly 1 minute to respond to that. Your time is up. 1 minute, Jesse. Jesse? Or Rashid, in 1 minute, Jesse's time. Could you respond to that, Rashid? 1 minute. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Rashid, you have 1 minute. Please use it.
The issue of communication. This is an article, September 9th, 2013, Daily Monitor.
Could you show it to us? Could you show it to us? Turn on your video.
It's written somewhere, so it will take like a whole process locating it.
Okay, it's fine. Please quote it.
Yes. A parent, Edward Musoma, 45 years, says that I have a 16-year-old son in a boarding school who normally calls me using his class teacher's phone. My son previously told me that the teacher would demand money before letting him use the phone. he said this in an irritated tone. So when we talk about communication, we mean how do these students communicate to their parents? These are the issues we want to eliminate, inconveniencing every time going to a teacher to call. You can even see that teachers are even asking money from these learners before using their calls, before using their phones. So when you talk about communication, this is an issue we want to bring at hand, eliminate this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is getting interesting. I'm giving Sisi 30 seconds.
Honorable Issa, on the statement that you've just made, that is the challenge of taking your learners to incompetent schools. I mean, if you've taken a child to a school that is competent, why do the kids go to the teachers? We have administrators, and some of these schools even have booths. You can call your parent using those booths, or you can call them using the phones of the administrators, not the teachers. That is insensitivity. Why then would you do that? Incompetence of you parents as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ainembabazi. That was a wonderful discussion. Let me take this opportunity to invite Edward Mugonyi to come and he shows us his case. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. This is Edward Mongoi from Kolosini Secondary School, and I'm here to strongly oppose this motion. Motion that says that should students be allowed to carry digital gadgets in school, and I strongly oppose this. One of the proposals came and said that these digital gadgets can be used by students to acquire skills. They can be used by students to get updated information and whatever. And let me first talk about what the previous proposal has been saying. The communication stuff. Then when you say that the student was asked for money in order to call the parent, if the student owns a phone in school, there's no way the student can own a phone for purposely communicating to the parent in need of anything. That student will be tempted to use the phone for other things apart from only calling the parent when he or she needs something. One of those things is the student can even use the phone to search porn. In this era, very many students, very many teenagers, very many youths have tended to use their phones for uneducative stuff. For example, unneeded stuff, and this is well guaranteed because internet when a student has a phone in school, there's trying to manage and the rest. And then the next thing, there's laziness when the student is using a phone. And for their books, they'll concentrate on reading phone, which is very hard because I don't think anyone of us here reads notes from the phone. It's very hard. And instead of reading notes on the phone, they'll be WhatsApping.
Mongoy, you have a hand from Isabella. Do you take it?
There'll be Facebooking and the rest of social media, and that is time consuming.
Edward, you have a hand from Isabella. Do you take it?
And can't concentrate in class and in school when having a digital gadget, for example, a phone. As my first proposer defined these digital gadgets, including phones, robots, PlayStations, and whatever. There's no way the student can concentrate in school and in class having these items in school. The student will tend to focus more on these items.
Edward, you have a hand from Isabella. Do you take it?
Yes, I do.
Please.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
So, Honorable,
Yes,
you
please.
talked about laziness. You talked about laziness, and I would like to inform you. Your school does have pass marks. There is
Has what?
always a pass mark. where a student supposed to get in that school August like that. Speaking about this, I think wrong students fight to make sure that they pass my others that are required. So I don't understand why students pass marks in schools. They have to work in promoting what hard business at all because have a pass mark or 50%. You have to get 50% such that you go to the next class or pass the next results to be considered in that school. And in most schools, you are chased if you don't get that exact pass mark. So laziness, honorable.
Hello.
Yeah, honorable, I'm done.
Honorable Isabella, I haven't been getting what you've been saying. I don't know whether the rest have been hearing you. All I heard was pass mark, but I'm
Okay.
very confused.
What I was trying to tell you is schools have pass marks which students have to get to go to another class or to pass certain results such that they are promoted. So when you talk about laziness, I don't understand you because there is always a pass mark that student has to get. And that is always 50%. I know you have it in your school. Yes.
Hello, Honorable
I know you
Isabella.
have it in your school, and I know that you also follow that same pass mark.
Hello.
Isabella, thank you so much. I think we have a network issue, but I've realized once you turn off your video, you can speak effectively. So if you're presenting, you turn off the video, I've allowed you. Please,
can I answer?
Edward, wind up
Yes,
in
please.
1 minute. Your time is up.
Okay, let me wind up. What Isabella, I'm actually bamboozled and perturbed with what Isabella is saying. Honorable Isabella, I don't know how pass mark connects with what I've been saying. First of all, what I'm saying, laziness. The student will tend not to read their books and pretend to be reading on their phone, and that is actually very impossible. How can you read on the phone? They'll tend to not to read books and then pretend to read on phones. Yet on the phone, there's a lot of distraction and a lot of disturbing things that will be confusing the student and take the student away from what actually took the student to read. So they'll not be reading. That's what I've been saying, laziness. And I'm actually confused on what you're saying, laziness, the pass mark and whatever.
Thank
we
you,
all have pass marks.
thank you, Edward. Rashid, in 30 seconds, what do you want to say? Rashid, in 30 seconds.
Judges, these people, I don't know what they are basing on their arguments. The last speaker talked of laziness when students use phones. They know that in schools that are having phones already in schools, we have NACAS or SS. It allows smartphones in class, and this was evidenced according to the Daily Monitor article of 3rd March 2022. We have
all right, thank you so much, David, Edward. Thank you so much, sir. Please, thank you so much for the contribution. Sisi, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you a chance to speak about this, but the opportunity is going to come your way a few minutes from now. Now, allow me invite the third speaker from the proposition side, and that's Asimire Isabella Nyangoma. So Isabella, you may not turn off your video because it will disturb you. Please turn it off so that you can debate effectively. Yes, Isabella. Yes, Isabella.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, try speaking.
Are you all hearing me? Can you all hear me?
Isabella, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Isabella.
Hear me now. School. Yes.
All right. If Isabella cannot debate right
Chairperson.
now, we have Shaban to debate in the place.
Chairperson, we can pick another participant, but
Can anyone hear me now?
let me request Isabella to first leave the Zoom call, then you join again.
No.
Okay? Yes,
I
join.
had asked Munyole Shaban to debate as Isabella reconnects.
Okay, thank you very much, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Shaban, turn off the video.
Hello? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, teacher.
Yes, Shaban. Yes, Shaban.
Teacher, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry about that. Shaban and Mire cannot speak right now. I am going to take this opportunity to invite David Sanya to debate as we wait for those ones to rejoin.
Well, thank you so much. I know I'm not going to use the video. My network is disturbing, so if I use video, it will be a bit so hard. Yeah, protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Hope it is a good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Please, let me see who is this one. Okay, please go on, go on.
Well, I was saying protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Hope it is a good morning. First and foremost, I'm Sanya David from Busitema University, student. Has come in as an opposer to oppose the motion which says, should students be allowed to take in digital gadgets to school? Yeah, I hope someone who came up with this motion was at least mentally disturbed. At least the motion would say, students shouldn't be allowed to carry digital gadgets as per my following research. If students are allowed to carry the digital gadgets, it will increase the expenses on the sides of the parent, not only on the side of the parents, but also on the sides of the government. On the side of the parent, we are looking on a parent who is a village-based basing on agriculture. Is depending on agriculture to get fees to pay for the student. We assume a school in Eastern Uganda like Masava College in Busha district, which pays a PTA of 50,000. Then besides the 50,000 that they pay, then a parent to afford a laptop, a personal laptop like HPM Core 10 of 500 GB, a ROM of 4, Windows 10, which costs at least 1.4 as per now, plus the addition of PTA of 50,000, which will total to 1.4. Then besides that, not only pay, maybe buying the PC, again, a student will not go online without data. And assuming a student is doing literature where he will be given an assignment, maybe to watch a play, which will take like 2 hours, a parent will have to incur additional costs of buying data, whereby at least to watch a video of 2 hours, that is on literature, only one subject, it will need at least a GB, which costs 5,000 on MTN. And you calculate of all the coursework that you will be given, MTC, to watch videos on how to calculate numbers, literature to watch plays, computer, maybe how to insert tables, and using Excel.
At the end of the week, when a parent is spending
David, you
5,000,
have a hand from Rashid. Do you take it?
he will come in later. Let me first conclude.
All right.
Yeah, I was still on the same price. A parent will spend 5,000 every day on buying data for a student. In a week, it will be a good amount of money. However, according to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in the financial year 2020-2021, the finance minister told us that 28% of the Ugandan population are poor and they cannot afford a meal. They live below the poverty line. If someone cannot afford to pay the PTA of 50,000 to send his or her children to school, how will he be able to buy a laptop which costs 1.4? Okay, we assume he's buying a phone. Will you take an example of MKN Kabode, where he will first pay 69,000, then he starts paying 600 every day? Where do you expect a parent to get 600 every day plus data of at least 5,000 every day for a student? Because you cannot just buy a phone and you give it to a student that you go with it to school minus data. How will he or she access online? However, on the side of the government will incur extra charges through the purchase of computers for the school, like most especially the government schools, train more teachers, because you cannot expect these teachers who have been in the field to know how to use the digital gadgets like the personal laptops, personal smartphones, tabs. They will have to train more workers and more teachers will be employed. And besides that, we assume a school like Ginger Ashes, which is having over 2,000 students, the computers which will accommodate there, and each computer on a government, since a PC, just a personal PC HPM is 1.4, just on a normal person. For a computer procurement alone will take every computer 1 million, whereby the government will see incurring more expenses, which may even in turn lead to inflation because the GDP will be increasing. Okay, I'm sorry for using a short form, but the GDP is the gross domestic product. It will have to increase as the current price, because much of the money will be in circulation, because more teachers
You have
will
a hand, and your time is actually moving very fast. You were remaining with a matter of seconds, but you have a hand from,
okay, let me conclude this point.
From Isabella, from Jesse, from Kasim. Which one do you take?
I conclude this point.
No. You have to take a hand in the remaining seconds. Please, Isabella, ask.
Yeah, so he was talking about laptops. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
About, yeah, he was talking about laptops being around 1.5, and I'm asking him, do you know the amount of a computer with all that equipment? It is more than 1.5. It is actually only a computer set with all equipment is 2.5. So a laptop would be cheaper, very, very, very cheaper than a computer that you honorables are talking about, that should be made sure that the government and the parents make sure to get computers to put in schools. So I totally disagree with that that laptops are very expensive, not at all compared to the computers, which even have a lot of equipment, a mouse, a keyboard, all that stuff. A laptop is far better and actually more flexible than a computer. So honorable, I disagree with you about that 100%. I'm done, honorables.
My computer went off. I didn't get that. But allow me to invite you, Isabella, to speak, because you did not speak when it was your turn. I also propose that you
Yeah.
lower your hands once the speaker you wanted to ask is off the platform. You lower your hands and you raise them again if you have a question for the speaker that is on the platform. Thank you. Asimira, it is your time.
Thank you. So I'm called Asimira Bella Nyangoma, and I'm a proposer with a motion that goes, should students be allowed to take gadgets to school? I'm really flabbergasted that the opposers are there to oppose, and actually Sisi said they are not really opposing, which means somehow they also see it right that no matter what they do, there is must be allowed at school. First and foremost, our dear I'd like to bring it to you. The opposite side did not give us a boundary, did not give us a parameter. I don't know which students they are talking about. With the proposals give you a boundary and a parameter of secondary school students.
Oh, Isabella? Isabella, is Isabella still on? Isabella has gone off. Oh. Shaban? Shaban? I see a person who has Techno Common 15 should rename, because we can't refer to you as Techno. We need to know your name. That's why I've not been picking you, because I can't call you by your phone name. I see hands are up. Maybe as we wait, we can hear from you. Let me start with Issa. Issa?
Thank you very much. I want to first rebut on Mr. David. The opposers like they have not understood the resolution, the motion. The motion is, should students be allowed to take gadgets to school? Should, meaning that these students, they already have gadgets. Our only concern is whether they should take them to school or not. That is one. Secondly, we gave them our parameters as secondary school. David was talking about the government. I don't know, how does the government come in here? Then he talked about a laptop being 1.4. If you're poor, like he said, why go for something that is very expensive? You mean all laptops? Then he talked about 28% of poor. Concern the resolution is, should students the students already have these gadgets. The concern is whether they take school.
All right, thank you, Issa. Thank you, Issa. We understand your point. The network is still disturbing Isabella, but we shall give you a chance to debate. Don't mind. But I have hands from Edward, and then I'll bring someone else in. I think
Yes,
Shaban
please.
is also here. Maybe immediately after Edward, Shaban will be able to debate.
So this is Edward. Issa has been saying that students have phones. Who tells Issa that students have phones? They don't have the gadgets. And a small percentage of students in Uganda own smartphones. And when you say students should use smartphones in school, a very little percentage will have the phone. So there'll be isolation. And what we are saying about the government, we're including the government. We are saying that we are providing a point of the government and the school providing at least laptops for the students to do research, not owning gadgets in school, because they will not be mobilized and then monitored. But the laptops and computers will be very well monitored by the teachers, because they will be a school property.
Thank you, David. Thank you for your point. I think it has reached home. Let's invite Shaban. Did not get a chance to debate. Shaban, you're welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Shaban.
Hello.
Good morning, Shaban.
My name is Nihal from Namwana Parents. I welcome you all to the online meeting. Before I go any further, allow me first of all to take you through the motion. The motion says that the students be allowed to take digital gadgets to school. As our first speaker came in, he gave us a very well definition of the motion, and I think the other side seemed to not have understood it very well. Before I go any further, let me first put a boundary on what these members have been talking about. The first speaker from the opposite side came and told us that it has been already researched in schools and books have been in libraries. I want first of all to put a boundary on that by saying that it's true they have been researched, but as explained the motion, he said these digital gadgets, they simply means they are means of simplifying people's life. Let's take an example of a phone. A person who has gone to the library to search for the notes is not like this person who is sitting with the phone and searching for the notes. And I think he had that in the mind before he came to this. He told us about they emphasize about communication, and they were like, if students at school study, then what's the use of communicating? Our dear judges, for us, we didn't say that these students will be communicating maybe to their girls, to their friends, but this will be an educational communication whereby if you are a student will be expected to communicate with a student, asking for assistance or aiding that person in any difficult question. So if we talk of communication, we are strictly meaning educational communication. When we came this side, we also told them that this will help in research information. We all know this very well that when we come to the side of the digital gadgets, searching information has been simplified, whereby a person, instead of going to the library, remember, a person may be in senior one, has gone to the library. The phone, if a person has the heading of what is going to, the person just types it in the scale, and we see that at the end, this is the time of the will concentrate because we not spend a lot of time in the library searching. I talked about scholastic like calculators, pens. We see that in the laptops or our phone. We already have calculators, and do we need maybe a rubber?
Oh, that is so bad that we get to lose you when the debate is heating up. In the chat, I love the fact that there is a lot of conversation going on in the chat. That's a very good practice. As Shaban is getting prepared to rejoin, did we have Martin? You have already reconnected.
Yes. Hello?
Yes.
Again, there is another question that has been asked recently, or by the last speaker. He said that for us, we understood very well this motion. The motion said, should students be allowed to take digital gadgets to school? Which means these students already have digital gadgets, but we require from maybe the teachers will be allowed to take them at school. And someone came and said, these students that I'm a student, Isabella is a student, Rahid is a student, and we have the gadgets. What about the ones remaining? The other one saying the students don't have gadgets. Where is the evidence that the students don't have the gadgets? Can he or he show us the evidence that these students don't have the gadgets? For us, we are following the resolution that is saying, should them be allowed to take digital gadgets to school, which means they already have. So this one is covering the point of poverty, that where our parents get money to buy these gadgets for the students. We already covered that by saying these students have the gadgets, and our aim or our
Thank you. Time is up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that discussion, for that debate. Wonderful thoughts given. Let's have 2 minutes, Isabella, 2 minutes only. Isabella, if you can join. Isabella, can you hear us?
Yeah, so can you all hear me?
Yes,
can you all hear?
I can hear you.
This is Isabella. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yeah. So
Isabella, have we lost you?
I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm saying the opposers failed to interpret the motion, which says should students be allowed to bring digital gadgets, which means they have them, but they only don't have the permission. So them saying that students, they don't have the gadgets or they are expensive, that is all misinterpretation of the motion, because the students already have the gadgets. All they don't have is the permission to take the gadgets to school. And so first and foremost, I would like to bring it to your notice, our dear judges, again, that the opposers didn't even set parameters. I don't know in which country they are talking to. I don't know which type of debate about university students we are talking about. Students, because universities know which talking about. But nevertheless, I want to give them reasons to why digital gadgets should be allowed in mainly secondary schools. Now, these digital gadgets, for example, laptops, smartphones, are possible. That is number one. They're not like the books, the scholastic materials that we need to take to school. The books, the for choir, the pamphlets, the textbooks, they are even so heavy. You see us struggling when we are coming back to school lifting books. Imagine having your small Infinix phone, portable, very flexible, in your pocket with your work there. There is all work on your phone. They are very flexible compared to the scholastic materials. There is the rulers. You can all do that on your digital gadgets. Another thing is, in case of emergencies, on 27th April, King's College was caught fire. One of the dormitories of the girls caught fire, and these students, most of their books were burnt. Books were burnt in the dormitories. Now take a look. If they had digital gadgets, if they had their phones, they would stay with their work on their phones. There wouldn't be a loss. But those books that were burnt, it means that student will have to recopy the work. And that is a wastage of time. And even if let's say your digital gadget gets burnt, those digital gadgets, they have passwords. You can go get another line, get another line, put in the password, for example, in mails, put in your password, get your work done. But the scholastic materials, the books, if it's lost, it's lost. You're not getting it anywhere, my friend. So another thing I would like to bring to the opposers' notice.
Isabella, you seem to have attracted so many issues from the audience. I want to inform you that Alpha has a hand up, and even Asante has a hand up. Yes, could you take one of them at least?
Do they mind if I pick them in my last minute?
This is your last minute.
This is my last minute. Okay, fine, but they should be quick.
Yes, please. Yes, yes, Alpha. Alpha. Okay, Asante.
You said that scholastic materials can get burnt and it would be easy if you use a smartphone. Can't it also be better if the people who are in that school, before it got burnt, they could get they would have like a safety place where they put all their books, where they can ensure it is safe. So the things would not get burnt, and plus smartphones really
all right, you have your time. We get to understand your point, Asante. Let's allow Isabella to respond.
Can anyone of you see what is on my screen now? To show you something.
You can share your screen again, but don't put on the video.
Yeah, so I want to show you. Can you all see that? Can anyone of you see what is on my screen?
Yes, we can see that.
So, Honorable, that is a building of King's College Wood burning. And someone was talking about they should have done something before the fire. Who knows when the fire is going to start? That is called an emergency, which is not prepared for by anyone at all. Not like it just happened. So imagine you're having your books or even the big computers that the opposers are talking about with full equipment. Those computers can get burnt still. But when you have your digital flexible equipment, you can easily get you. But them saying no digital gadgets should be allowed at school. Why are even computers allowed in school? In the first place.
Thank you so much, Isabella. You have had a wonderful discussion. Unfortunately, the time is not on our side, and we are going for a break. When we come back, we shall allow other participants from the audience to share their views with us. Thank you so much. The break is of 3 minutes. It starts now. Bernard, over to you.
He's a mighty God. Stand amazed in your presence. There is nothing you cannot do. I stand amazed in your presence. There is joy, peace, and hope. Yeah, there's no one like you, Jesus. There's no one like you in all the earth. Nobody like you, Jesus. There's no one like you. You do mighty things. You do glorious things. You're a faithful God. Awesome each and day. You do mighty things. You do glorious things. You're a is nothing you cannot do. Wave your hands, say, Lord, send a man in your presence. Where is joy? Oh, there's no one like, nobody like you. Yeah, yeah. There's no one like you in all the earth. Nobody like you, Jesus. Nobody. There's no one like nobody. Yeah. You do mighty, you do glorious. You're a faithful God. Awesome is your name. You do mighty, you do glorious. You're a faithful God. Awesome is your name. You do mighty things. Come on. You do mighty, you do glorious. You're a faithful God. Awesome is your name. You do mighty, you do glorious. You're a faithful God. Awesome is your name. Glorious God, you are. Ha. You upon the blind eyes, mighty God. Hey, turning situations around. Hey, you're a mighty God. We bless you. We lift you. You're glorious. Come on. You do mighty. You do glorious. You're a faithful God. Lift your voice. Come on. You do mighty. You do glorious. You're a faithful God. Awesome is your name. Lift him up, come on. You do mighty things. You do glory. Come on, everybody, let me hear you. Awesome is your name. You do mighty things. You do mighty. You do. You're a faithful God. Awesome, 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 awesome. Oh, hey, 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 hey. You do mighty, mighty things. Glorious things. You're a faithful, faithful God. You do mighty things. You're a faithful God. Awesome is your name. Come on, put your hands together.
Mr. Jonah, over to you.
Welcome back, everyone. I think you are having a very good time. What do you think? What do you may I know what people think already so far about what has happened? What do you think? Is it interesting? Yes, Sisi, just an opinion in one word. You are not debating. You are telling me what you think. Yes, Sisi.
It's interesting, but then one of our opposers hasn't yet spoken, Martin.
Martin has not spoken.
Yes.
Oh, what happened? Okay. All right. We are going to give Martin a chance to speak. May I get an opinion from someone else? This was Sisi. Martin.
Yes, sir.
You have 3 minutes strictly to debate.
Okay, fine. I appreciate the time, please.
Time is not on our side.
The panel of judges, chairperson, the timekeeper, and the house at large. Yeah. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the proposers who have come on board to really lay out this motion. First and foremost, I want to stick upon this. Let me begin by this. The proposers are saying that we didn't lay out our parameters. Speaking about this, they lay the parameters. Then what is the need of laying a parameter? They say the parameters are in secondary schools, right? And in Uganda, So what's the need if I come up and I debate the whole world? Is that really relevant? Irrelevant. They are speaking of the point that we are not understanding the motion. The motion says clearly, should students be allowed to take digital gadgets to school? The thing is, they are requesting, should. Please, my dear panel of judges, if you don't know English, I don't want to be really ironically or arrogant about this, but you should understand what they call English before you step on this forefront and debate. Now, leaving that aside, let me go to my point, please. They came out and told us, Isabella came out and told us about laptops being cheap compared to computers. Now, let us move a step, leave alone Isabella's point, right? We as the opposers, we are here not saying that we don't want to allow, we wouldn't allow phones at school or digital gadgets, but we are saying, we are debating this. Let me tell you one thing, we are not putting this in place because many of you now have forwarded comments out here saying that the government cannot provide stuff like, right? We are speaking of this. You're speaking of a 1.4 something, a million. How many parents are able to afford that? Some parents work for that income. That's a year income of a parent, of a student. So you're speaking of a computer or a laptop of 1.5. Oh, why? Please. Panel of judges, please think with me. Please think with me right now. And everyone on board, please think with me. You get it? How can a parent who is earning or works a day and earns 3,000, because that's the income a person earns, that's the income a person earns in a day. He works for 3,000 a day. In a month, it can accumulate to be something like not even less than 180. Then speak of which, he has 6 children and have to provide 6 laptops to the children. How much is that? Critically, we have to think of this. Please, in Luganda, they said, we have to think as the people, really. They are speaking of government to provide. Oh, let me tell you one thing. At my school, College Senior Secondary School, the government has provided NPC, but the URA, we have also some other NGOs that provided laptops to our schools. We have more than 70 laptops at school. But trust me, it's not the government which has provided. And speaking of which, they're speaking, as we the proposers, we are coming here saying that, oh, these laptops, students are using that, but they are misusing them.
Yes, Martin, you have a hand from Galaxy A2 Core. Please tell us your name and you take it in 1 minute.
Please. A moment, please. So
you have 1 minute, Martin.
Yes, please. Thank you. We are speaking of monitoring, but then monitoring. How many? We are speaking of these students cannot indulge themselves to monitor themselves as they use using this. Some of them are using, like, they are learning sexual stuff, like pornography itself. Is it relevant to the society? No. Now we are bringing a point of laziness among students. They are creating laziness. Now, speaking of reading on your phones, so I can't carry out my research. Like, researches, we spoke as we the opposers, we came and said about the library. We have available libraries. Our parents who studied, didn't they use the library? Didn't they pass? So what is wrong with putting that in place right now? You are creating an ideology of students thinking like, we have computers, so let me use the computers. I don't want to go to the library. Oh, why? We have books in the library. We have furnished libraries at school. Each school, I'm sure, has a library.
So, Martin, time is up. Time is just up.
Yes, let me listen to that person that has a comment or something.
Galaxy, please tell us your name and you ask. Please tell us your name and you ask.
My name is Habaja Joseph.
Where do you come from?
Just at Paul Mukasa Primary School in Mukono.
Okay.
I'm very glad to be on this platform this morning or afternoon, and for this wonderful debate you organized. Surely, when we look at how it was said, for me, I have a proposal of saying students should not carry even a single gadget to school. Additionally, sorry.
Please go on.
Basing on my following views, one.
Oh, so you are a debater, an
Yes.
independent debater.
Yes, I would love to supplement on what the previous speaker has been mentioning.
No, I am going to give you your time.
Okay.
I'm going to give you your time. Don't mind.
Okay.
I'm going to give you your time. Martin was an opposer. I want a floor speaker who is a proposer. A floor speaker who is a proposer. If you're a floor speaker and you're a proposer, please raise your hand. Then our friend from Pomokasa will debate after you. Floor speaker, proposer. If you're a floor speaker and you're a proposer, please raise your hand. Issa, did you mobilize your people? As you get ready to debate, I want to remind you that this is proudly brought to you by Yaka Digital Network, an online company that provides educational services from P1, from nursery to the university. We have notes across all sections. We have improved videos. We have learning services. We have qualified teachers. We have everything to aid your excellency. So let's have Issa, what do you want to say? Issa, please unmute. Is there any speaker, no speaker, who is a proposer?
I think we have none.
Oh, then that means we are going to now enjoy the debate because we are going to only base on the 4 that I've debated. Okay, so let me have our friend from Pomokasa Senior Secondary School, Mukono. Let's go on and debate.
Can you raise your hand again? Can we take on Martha?
Martha, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be on the opposite side. I'm Martha.
From which school?
I'm saying student MOOBs.
Okay.
Yes, I'm saying students shouldn't take gadgets because it's distracting. Since most of the schools are now advanced with computer labs, which are having computers and internet, I don't see the use of them taking gadgets because they can access what they need to access from the internet. They can go to the library. They can access the books they want. Because they've gone to school, they're not going to get a social life. Most of them will go with their phones because they want to continue having WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and which is not relevant because they have gone to read, not to have a holiday. So I say students shouldn't go with gadgets to school because of that. And my second point is some students will feel down because maybe someone is going to come with an iPhone, then they'll put pressure on their parents. We also want an iPhone, yet they're having their iTels or their Infinixes. So which is going to be a burden to the parent because the parent has to buy an iPhone at 3 million and yet your tuition is at 800,000, 500,000. That's my view.
Thank you so much, Martha. That's wonderful. So some of us who are having Infinixes, greetings to you, Bernard, who is holding an Infinix. This debate is getting so interesting. I love this. Our friend from Pomokasa, would you rename to your real name and stop using your phone name? Could you debate now? The platform is yours.
Okay, thank you once again. I'm Habaja Joseph once again, but I would love to oppose this motion today by stating that students shouldn't be allowed to carry any digital gadget to school, based on the following views. Traditionally, Ugandans or Africans used to carry out a number of calculations using their brains. By today, due to the introduction of these gadgets, our brains have been made redundant, basing or expecting to carry out millions of calculations in a short time using these gadgets, hence making our brains very, very, very redundant and less calculative. So based on that point, I would say we shouldn't allow them to carry gadgets to school. Secondly, most of the parents who meet the school dues for us as students have a very weak financial status. So accessing these gadgets may be a drain on their side, hence causing default in schools and make us miss some of the required lessons at school. So based on their status financially, I wouldn't agree with that. View number 3, these parents are overexploited. They are overexploited because these gadgets cost differently. Like my sister from Mubs who was saying, you may have Infinix at 500 or 800, the other one comes with the Apple. This makes a parent be exploited beyond. And what some other people may end up asking for, the parent buys a gadget expensively and still a student or a child still demands for data in order to access different platforms on social media. And to make it worse, they don't use this data profitably. They end up running for other events of their interests, leaving aside the major aim of buying those gadgets. Finally,
yes, summarize.
Finally, most of these students do not use the gadgets expectedly and end up going for pornographic movies, hence causing moral decay in them. Based on those views, I would love to say thanks for the organization, but students shouldn't be allowed to carry digital gadgets to schools. Thank you.
Yes, let's hear from Rashid.
Thank you. So I want to again disagree with the two last speakers. We should be realistic, and also let us borrow a leaf from some of the schools that have already allowed gadgets in schools. Schools like Vienna College Namugongo. We have schools like Nakasero SS. These schools have already allowed gadgets in schools. Are they complaining? People are talking about porn, laziness, competition among students, but these are schools that already have these gadgets operating in schools. No one is complaining, yet they are in fact, they are giving testimonies as how these gadgets have improved. The Muhammad Kakika, the school's HM Vienna, says that gadgets have helped students carrying out research. They hope teachers in, facilitating these classes. So I don't know why people are sticking to the same. Fine, they are talking about business, but they are not giving valid points. Let us borrow a leaf from these schools that already have these gadgets working in schools. They are not complaining and they are performing. I've had scenarios that students are watching porn, people are laziness, there's competition as people are saying iPhone, things and all that stuff. No. Okay, so I totally disagree with those guys. Let them bring points, but with something to support their argument, not just arguing. Thank you.
Yes, that was good from you, Rashid, but you seem to have attracted disagreement from a number of your colleagues. Let's have Sisi. Sisi, the platform is yours.
Thank you so much. I'd like to inform Honorable Rashid. Thank you so much. You mentioned Vienna and you mentioned Nakasero. Wow. Vienna is a school that pays between 7.2 to 15 million yearly. That is tuition for the school fees for those children. I mean, a parent who can take a child to Vienna, they are loaded, my dear. We're talking of parents who are taking their children deep down in Bosoga, in Kamuli, where they cannot even afford a meal in school, where the kids in Vienna are not complaining because the parents can afford. In Nakasero, they're not complaining because they can literally afford. My dear, don't mention even Vienna. When you're dealing with deep down schools in villages, they will complain. You're saying they're not complaining, but those ones will complain. Then next one, someone talked of us not setting parameters. Sweetheart, it's not us to set parameters, but then it is the proposers to set the parameters that we also follow. Then the other issue, someone was talking of, I don't remember the proposer that said that, but then he said that when they were talking of communication issues, that we disagreed with them on communication. Do you think we are miniature gods to understand that you are talking of educational communication? You simply say communication without you're talking about people communicating with their boyfriends deep down in their homes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sisi. We are going to have only one person and we are going to call it a debate. And that's the Asante Elon to debate, and then we shall give it to judges, to the adjudicators to tell us how we have fared. Remember, we are only going to use the 4 participants because they were the only ones that were fairly balanced. So Asante Elon, the time is yours. You have 2 minutes.
I'd like to say that children should not be allowed to take phones at school because it exposes them to very bad content. And that content, although phones can be good, they are also bad. There is a good side and a bad side. And the bad side is more than the good side because the good side has little things in it. Because now it can expose children to bad content and it can lead you to poor grades because most children spend a lot of time on phone than learning. They are going to get very poor grades which can lead them to termination of class. They will be terminated from class because of their poor grades. Their poor grades will lead them to be terminated, and inability to focus. When the teacher is teaching, for example, a lecturer, you need to focus. Your brain needs to be in check. But when you're on the phone and the teacher is teaching, your brain will not be in check. So you will get inability to focus. You'll be on social media, Facebook, WhatsApp. You will not have any time to focus, and you cannot ask the teacher to repeat because you cannot do that. It leads to cyberbullying. You can be bullied online, cyber crimes. You can be hacked. If you keep putting your info on social media, people will hack you, and you do not know that when that happens, you can also get cyberbullied because everyone will be having a phone in class. There are those who want to use it for bad intentions, so it can also lead to cyberbullying. Poor vision. When you are exposed to too much screen time, because the maximum screen time is 2 hours, the minimum is 1 hour. So poor vision, you can get loss of sight if you continue going on those social media, and all of those things. Lack of sleep. You can fail to sleep. You're so concentrated on this social media, and it makes you fail to sleep. And then I
Thank,
end up saying,
thank you, Asante. Unfortunately, our time is fast spent. You had very wonderful points, well researched, and I like the diction, the choice of words. You are using the exact words a computer literate would use. Thank you so much. Keep it up. I have 1 minute, and I'm going to share it between Sisi and Martin. Martin is going to go first. Martin, you have 30 seconds, strictly 30 seconds, and I start counting now.
Yes, honorable members, I'm out for the 30 seconds that I've been given. So, like, I want to speak about this. They are speaking of schools that already have phones at schools. Now, trust me, one of the honorables earlier on came and told us students are using phones to communicate with their parents, requesting for money. That's real evidence. They spoke about it and we were arguing about it. Now, the thing is like this: when they have phones at school. Now, speaking about, I went to St. Julian High School. We had phone booths whereby we were allowed to use those phones to call parents. Why is the need of a student to carry a smartphone at school? Okay, and an iPad. What are you going to use to talk to your parent? Yet you have both at school. You get it? So laptops, as the former speaker, Martha, was on board, she has really brought out whatever point she had. He is really even bullying, cyberbullying. After laziness, this thing, you guys, the proposers, I don't know, but I think you guys should cross over and just have a cup of tea with us because you guys are really off this hook. Thank you, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There are a few things that we have come to the end of our debate. I want to thank you all, those of you who have spent time researching so that you can have wonderful presentations. Thank you so much for the time that you've put in, because the debate is about the sharing of ideas, rationality, and not being emotional at all. We discuss ideas, we don't discuss people. I want to appreciate you because you have stayed on course throughout the debate. Thank you for making it a wonderful debate. Thank you for spending your date and your time to join us for this first online debate organized by Yaka Digital Network. And for sure, I want to inform you that this is not going to be the last one. We are going to have so many other debates coming right ahead of us. I want to use this time to allow the two adjudicators to come up with the average, which they are going to announce in the next 3-4 minutes. But as we wait for them, I want to invite our friend Bernard to simply tell us about the products of Yaka. Thank you. As a company.
Okay, thank you, Jonah, our chairperson for this debate. It is really wonderful and it is going on very well. Yes, the debate is brought to you by Yaka Digital Network, and Yaka has different products and services that we give you related to learning. Above all, we have online learning where teachers interact with the learners. We have class notes from P1 up to senior 6. Even the classes run for P1 up to senior 6. So if you join us, we are assured that you will receive the best services for your class. We also have content that you can read online on Educare. You can read and access content for the whole year for your class. We also give support to children who are in the holiday. Like now, we organize seminars, we organize debates to ensure that you keep busy and excel in your studies. On the call, we have some of our learners who study on Yaka. Asante, you are one of them. That was a good debate, among others. Let me also give a chance to Joan to say something.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, Chairman, you are saying something?
I thought you were busy computing, so we'll give you time to complete and then you come once.
Yeah, it's actually better. Thank you.
Then I think we need to give you some time to, because she's also our chief adjudicator who is going to announce our results.
I've been thinking about something. We have so many cool gadgets nowadays, iPads and laptops and smart mobile phones. So how come we can hardly ever use them at school? Who decides that we, the people who are supposed to learn, can't even use the tools we're most comfortable with? Use of these gadgets is abbreviated to ICT, Information and Communication Technology. In fact, many people believe that children learn much better by using ICT, but many local authorities struggle to provide their students with this. The problem is not the actual hardware. The schools are full of it. The problem is how to use ICT smartly to improve learning. But why is better learning important? The more of us will have to get a good education. With so many of our young people dropping out of high school, can we really claim that we're on the right path to become a knowledge-based society? It doesn't look like it. Are we just expecting our students to suddenly realize that they are the nation's future and get their act together? Or should we try to make schools more relevant and motivating for students so that this happens naturally? If more students learn better, would that possibly motivate them to continue and not drop out of high school? Wouldn't that actually help to create a knowledge-based society? Okay, if we agree that society benefits from improved learning, how do we reach this goal? Well, then we're back to the gadgets. I believe it would be smart to take advantage of students' interest in ICT. Computers can teach us to learn things in different ways. And they also make learning advanced concepts easier, if that's what you want. Imagine, instead of reading about DNA molecules and cramming in facts you don't really understand, why not visualize, simulate, and animate the DNA molecule? Wouldn't this make school more exciting? If you actually understand what you learn? How about math? Wouldn't learning improve if formulas were brought to life using dynamic graphs, rather than struggling with cryptic X's and Y's? And how about other subjects? Would it inspire us to have all the information in the world at our fingertips, just a few mouse clicks away? I think it would. I feel excited just thinking about it. So what's holding us back? Well, ICT is a part of the curriculum as the 5th basic skill. That's a good start. But the curriculum itself is no guarantee, because nothing happens to those who don't follow it accurately. Therefore, it's probably more important to get the actual teachers into the idea of using ICT in their lessons. Could increased use of ICT in teacher training encourage teachers to use ICT in their own lessons? And what if they were given the time and resources to keep their ICT knowledge up to date? Wouldn't that pave the way for smarter use of ICT in education? Could we, by using ICT smartly,
then
improve learning, motivation?
thank you so much. Joan Nachans once again. Thank you everyone for participating actively in this debate. I would like to give my comments before. On the proposer's side, I thank you for bringing out the points well and the explanations. Thanks for the facts that you gave, like someone talked about the ministry. Thank you for defending the points. However, there is some point that you did not bring out well at the beginning, that is communication, and it brought out some arguments after. You get real facts, only that for a few network was disturbing. Next time, please try to find places where network is stable. Yeah, that's for the proposer side. Then the opposition side, you also did well. You explained well the points. You quoted the writers, that was very good. However, the network also disturbed for a few. And then someone from your side also used Luganda, which was not proper. So those are the general comments. Thanks everyone for participating. The summation of the proposer side, they have 76, and then the opposition side has 76.5. Thank you. Back to you, Jonah.
I beg that you repeat. I beg that you repeat.
Okay, I said about the summation, right?
Yes, yes.
The proposer side has 76, and then opposition has 76.5.
So the difference is 0.5.
Yes, 0.5.
Congratulations to the winners. We are overjoyed to have had this from the beginning up the end. Thank you so much for showing interest, and we shall be more than willing and more than ready to host you once more again in time to come as we get to debate. Congratulations to the winners, and also congratulations to the second winners, because you did a wonderful debate. You had a wonderful debate. The next on agenda will be the Entrepreneurship Advanced Level Seminar. That will be on 6th of August. 6th of August, no, on 14th, sorry, of May, we shall have English workshop for lower primary. The next debate is going to be there on 30th of July. 30th of July. So get ready, inform your friends, and our team leader is saying you'll have, we are going to have very many gifts in the future. I think the next debate we shall be having gifts and prizes for the best debater and for the winning side. Allow me to take back the debate, to take back the program to Bernard, who gave it to us. Bernard, you're welcome. I want to end by congratulating those who have won, and also advising those that are not yet embraced Yaka Digital Network to embrace it. God bless you.
God bless you too, Jonah. Thank you, our chairperson, for leading us from the start up to almost the end. So I thank everyone who has participated in this debate. I'm going to give an opportunity to 3 or 4 members to say something before they leave the call, how the debate has been, and what they wish can be improved or we can do better next time. You can raise your hand, you say something before we can leave the call. Yes, Richams, you can unmute. Chams, unmute. The floor is yours. Let me hear from Joshua. Chams is far from the gadget. Joshua, unmute.
Yeah,
Joshua, mute.
actually, this is Martin.
Go on.
Yeah, actually, I'm really so humbled for this. You're prepared. I'm really grateful for the Yaka network that has really prepared this debate. And trust me upon this, it has really been an interesting one. It has really been an interesting one. One of my expectations before I wanted actually to enjoy this. I wanted to get a heated argument, and trust me upon this. By the end of it, we have really gotten an argument, and so far we have won it. Upon this, I would actually say that there'll be more other debates to come, right? Because this generation of ours these days, for you, if you cannot speak, if you cannot open up your mind and speak louder, then no one is ready to hear you out. So debate actually is one of the things that actually opens the youth's mind into thinking critically, like building. It's a form of building confidence in you. I remember some time back, I couldn't stand in front of students. I couldn't speak. What I could do was sit only behind, and whenever I'm called, I'm just so shy. But trust me, ever since I joined the debate club, I've got this confidence from there. So let us have this actually not only an online thing, but if we could also prepare like schools, schools challenges, then like you host different number of schools, you send invitations, you host schools, you debate on a specific motion on a specific day, then the school moves out as a champion. And of course, it should really be a very good and interesting time for the students at large, and as you, the adjudicate as well, because this is a moment whereby you're going to notice someone, you say, hey, that guy Martin is really a good speaker, he's really a good debater. So debate itself is something that is really so interesting. So I would actually endorse this so that we can do it to the next level. But far much, thank you for this moment. Thank you for this time given unto me.
Okay, welcome, Martin. As you have seen that we have another upcoming debate. Now that we have seen some of the main characters here in the debate, we shall again follow you up. Those who have been our main speakers, we can follow you up for the next coming debate, where we shall have winners winning, and it should be a more fruitful debate than this one. And we need to involve many stakeholders in this so that it is to that level that we expect it to be. Okay, yours is to keep in touch. We have created those WhatsApp groups, join them and get informed always whenever such platforms are organized. Don't also miss seminars that are upcoming. These seminars are free of charge, like though we have attended the debate. You can join these seminars and learn more from these seminars. I have a hand from Joshua. If you can unmute yourself and speak to us. Joshua.
Thank you for teaching me how to debate. No, the debate was okay. So I am Wondo Alpha Joshua. P4 a lot people. P4
Joshua, your network is unstable. Let's hear from Richams. Richams, you can talk to us.
Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, members. My name is Richam Shadik, and today's debate was really good, and this has really This has really challenged me to research more about debating, and I just asked the organization to please organize us a seminar, like introducing us, on how to debate. And lastly, I just thank the host and the organization itself, Yaka Digital Network, for providing such free educative sessions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, James, for appreciating. Let me give a chance to Asimo Joseph to talk to us.
Thank you.
Asimo Joseph, your network is breaking. Let's hear from Shaban. Shaban, unmute. Shaban, you can
first of all, I want to congratulate the winners. Hello.
Shaban, you are on.
I want to take this to thank the Yaka company for the opportunity given to us as debaters, and I also thank my fellow debaters for turning up in large numbers like that. I urge you to keep on like that, and you will represent our school. Back to the challenges, maybe I would say, but maybe the Yaka company maybe should also come up with a physical seminar that maybe we can see ourselves. I believe this time we have lost simply because the network was disturbing. But I think if we would maybe face ourselves, the debate was going to be more hotter than it has been today. But so far, since the beginning, I have not lost hope. I still have hope that I'll make it next time. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I mean Shaban.
Okay, Shaban, thank you. We shall look into that matter critically. And for those who will be registering for the upcoming debate, you will get the details, whether it will be physical or virtual. Thank you. Allow me give this opportunity to Singer Gerard. He can also talk to us. Singer Gerard is a team leader at Yaka Digital Network. He can give a word or two. You are welcome, Gerard.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Kakuru. I don't know what you want me to say. Probably to thank all of you for this very engaging seminar. I thank God that I was able to get the time to catch in, and I loved the expression, the debate, the points given by many of you, and I'm looking forward to see us improve this debate. I had already got feedback from some people saying that it would be interesting if we could have some prizes, and we are going to work hard towards that. But most importantly, to be able to learn, to share ideas, and to shape a better future for ourselves. Thank you and have a great day.
Okay, have a great day too. So all our main speakers, participants, organizers of the debate, I thank you all for this wonderful debate. We can end here for today as we wait for another engagement. Have a great day.